Well, Afghanistan. Could anything have been done differently?
This could have been handled, this actually could have been handled better in any way. No mistakes?
No, I don't think it could have been handled in a way that we're going to go back in hindsight and look, but the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing, I don't know how that happens.
Here's the breaking news for you in our world lead. State Department officials tell CNN that more than a month before Afghanistan collapsed to the Taliban, a group of U.S. diplomats in Kabul warned Secretary of State Antony Blinken of a possible catastrophe in the country and urged the Biden administration to do much more to get Afghan allies out of there. CNN's Kylie Atwood is live for us at the State Department. Kylie, what more can you tell us about this memo?
Yeah, this was a dissent memo that was written mostly by diplomats who were at the embassy in Kabul, telling the State Department, telling Secretary of State Tony Blinken that they thought that there should be more action taken on behalf of the State Department to prepare for what they saw as the eventual evacuation of these Afghans applying for visas and refugee status in the United States. Of course, the backdrop being they were on the ground, they were watching what was happening in the country in the months following President Biden's announcement that the U.S. was going to withdraw their troops, these Taliban gains that were mounting across the country. They were urging the State Department to do more. Now, the reason that this is significant is because, first of all, a dissent memo is only written by diplomats if they feel that their voice is not being heard. It is a way for them to dissent to the Secretary of State with what is happening at that moment in time, hoping that changes can be made. Second of all, it is important because we hear President Biden in his interview just recently with ABC not saying that anything went wrong in terms of the U.S. withdrawal here. It is very clear now, as we are seeing in this dissent memo, that there were State Department officials saying, look, things are going to happen. It could get bad, but let's take steps now so that we can mitigate against the worst case scenario, against a case scenario where we are totally out of control, where it is chaos, and we are watching that chaos unfold right now at the airport in Kabul.
But the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing, I don't know how that happens.
Well, I think it all stinks. And I think it would have been different under Trump. But what else can I say about that?
But the good news is we sort of have a shadow president in waiting. A lot of people are very curious about how this could have been done better. Of course, Donald Trump came to town and on August 19th posted this as a statement by Donald Trump, 45th president. Says, pretty simple here. First, you bring out all of the American citizens. Then you bring out all the equipment. Then you bomb the bases into smithereens. And then you bring out the military. You don't do it in reverse order like Biden and our woke generals did. No chaos, no death. They wouldn't even know we left. That's from probably your 47th president of the United States. Going to be fun to vote for him when he runs again. It's going to be a meltdown across the board. So looking forward to that.
Now, say what you want about Trump, but no one ever doubted for a second that he was in charge and in control of any situation.
I spoke on numerous occasions to the head of the Taliban. I told him up front, I said, look, before we start, let me just tell you right now that if anything bad happens to Americans or anybody else, or if you ever come over to our land,
troops. But your top military advisors warned against withdrawing on this timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops.
No, they didn't. It was split. That wasn't true. That wasn't true.
They didn't tell you that they wanted troops to stay?
No, not in terms of whether we were going to get out in a time frame, all troops. They didn't argue against that.
So no one told your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No one said that to me that I can recall.
Even the mainstream media has turned its back on Biden. CNN, MSNBC, all the ABC, all of them. And that's really strange. What do they know? Did they know that they're on their way out if they don't start telling the truth? I really don't know. Well, probably the only one who's happy about all this would be Governor Cuomo. because everybody forgot about all the stuff he did the other week ago. Well, what else can I say?